The New York Knicks just finished their preseason schedule, losing to the Washington Wizards by the score of 118 to 117, and I'm here to break it all down. All that and much more on the Knicks Digest. What's up, guys? It's your boy Dariel. Let's get right into today's video. So even though the Knicks couldn't finish the preseason with a 5-0 record, they ended up going 4-1. But in tonight's game, I think the biggest takeaway you can have is Tyler Kolek. Now, in a more recent video that I put out, I was basically talking about how us Knicks fans, we need to simmer down on the Tyler Kolek hype train just surrounding his name. But tonight, there's nothing I can say, but the guy impressed me, man. Finishing the game with, what did he finish the game with? 13 points, 3 of 5 from the field, 1 of 2 from three-point line, converting all 6 of his free throws. He had a decent game, but what I really liked that I saw from Tyler Kolek is before Champagne or Butler from the Washington Wizards hit the go-ahead field goal, Tyler Kolek and the Knicks, they were down by 1 point, and Tyler Kolek was the one to put the Knicks up by 1 point. But the way he did it, he called for a screen and roll, and I think it might have been Huck Porty. He called for the screen and roll happened, and then he had a defender on his hip, and then he had 2 feet in the paint, and he hit a little southpaw floater. And with Tyler Kolek, I just like that the confidence that he plays with. It looks like he knows who he is. He's not somebody that's going to jump out the building with his athleticism. He's not the fastest. He's not the strongest. It just looks like he knows how to play the game. And before Champagne or Butler from the Wizards hit that go-ahead field goal, that's what Tyler Kolek was able to do. He was able to get to his sweet spot, get to his strong spot, and convert a field goal. It would have been the winning field goal, but the Wizards had the last possession, and then we ended up turning it over. But Tyler Kolek, for this season, what am I looking towards for him? It's hard to say, man, because one, Tibbs with rookies, it's known that he doesn't like playing rookies. And then on top of that, Tyler Kolek has Deuce McBride and Campaign ahead of him. And the first point guard coming off the bench whenever Jalen Brunson is going to get those resting minutes, it's going to be a mixture between Deuce and Cam. So Kolek is just at the end of the line. And I hate to say this because it's one of the most cliche things that any NBA player says during any interview. Next man up mentality. Tyler Kolek just has to be ready when his number is called. Hopefully he will be. And hopefully he'll be able to help the team out. But Tyler Kolek, I really like seeing him play and the value of what we got for him at where we got him in the draft. I think he has a really bright future. In my opinion, he reminds me of a Chris Paul type. Chris Paul was more athletic, was stronger, was faster than Tyler Kolek is right now at Tyler Kolek's stage in his career. But Chris Paul, what he ended up becoming is one of the smartest basketball players that I've ever seen. All of these NBA talking head shows talk about. Chris Paul, he's able to use his basketball-like IQ to his advantage, able to get to his spots, and like I said earlier, like Tyler Kolek did, putting defenders on their hip, and just using his brain a lot more than athleticism. And I think Tyler Kolek, as far as his career path, it could look something like that. I'm not saying that he's going to end up being a Chris Paul. Chris Paul is, a top 5 point guard of all time? I'm not trying to put that pressure on Tyler Kolek, but I could just see his trajectory and the way that he plays going down the same path as a Chris Paul. So that was one takeaway I had from the game. Another takeaway I had was Precious Achiuwa pulling his hamstring. Now, the game just ended. We don't know how severe the hamstring injury is. But with hamstrings, you never know. It could be something that could be lingering on. And the only way to really heal a hamstring strain is rest. So I don't think Precious is going to be ready by Tuesday, where we're going to be in Boston. So Jericho Sims is looking like he's going to be the first big man coming off the bench. And then Ariel Huck Porty is going to be backing up him. So we're already depleted at the big man spot. And you guys know how I feel about Precious already. I'm not his biggest fan. Jericho Sims, I like Jericho Sims more than Precious Achiuwa, but Precious Achiuwa has just shown us more. So it's a little bit of a tough spot. Hopefully Precious Achiuwa can have a quick turnaround. Hopefully it's not something that's going to linger on. And last but not least, Mikal Bridges. Man, tonight was just not his night. Just finished the game with 8 points, 0 of 10 from three-point line. Let me say that again. 0 of 10. 2 of 12 from the field, converting all 4 of his free throws, but all of 10 from three-point line. And I believe Chris put out a video a few weeks back talking about how Mikal Bridges made some sort of adjustment to his shot. Mikal Bridges' shot has always been awkward. It's always looked a little weird, but this past offseason, like it looked like he made it just an adjustment to his shot, and I'm not necessarily sure if that's why it looks like he's having a hard time during preseason converting his shots. It's not just tonight. Tonight was really bad, 0 of 10, but I've seen other preseason games, and I just didn't really see him converting the shots that he took. So it's just something to worry about. I'm not worried yet. Am I going to be keeping my eye on it? Absolutely. Hopefully, it's just something. Maybe it was just a one night thing as far as how bad the shot was tonight. Hopefully, by Tuesday, he'll be able to get in a better groove. We'll see what happens, but that was something else that I picked up from tonight's game. Brunson and KAT. Brunson tonight finished the game with 27 points, 10 of 15 from the field, 2 of 4 from three-point line, converting all 5 of his free throws. KAT, 22 points, 7 of 16 from the field, 0 of 5 from three-point line. You guys know how I feel about KAT. I feel like he depends on the three-point line a little bit too much. He needs to mix it up a little bit more. 0 of 5, that number 5, I'm happy with. I definitely don't want it to be more than 5, but we know that KAT is going to definitely take more than 5 3-pointers in the regular season and when playoffs come around. So tonight, I do like that number. Obviously, I wanted him to convert more than 0. Hopefully, he could have converted at least 2 or 3. But again, preseason, I'm not going to look that much into it. Converting 8 of his 10 free throws. And the chemistry that I'm seeing between Brunson and KAT, I do like it. It just seems like they're getting more comfortable with each other game by game. There were a couple of times tonight where Jalen Brunson drove into the lane and KAT knew to cut. And then he gave KAT a nice no-look pass. And then KAT finished at the rim. Yeah, so the chemistry between them two is something that I'm seeing growing. And the only thing that can develop chemistry is time. So I'm sure as the games keep rolling on, especially now on Tuesday when the season really begins and it starts to mean something, then I'm sure the chemistry is going to develop really well. And the last thing I'll say before I wrap up the video, OG Anunoby, man. Tonight he finished the game with 14 points, 4 of 7 from the field, 2 of 4 from three-point line, converting 4 of his 6 free throws. Preseason game, good numbers, but what I want to highlight is there were a couple times in this game where he's just like stripping players, man. He's just in your shirt. He's poking the ball away. And I'm just so glad that we have him on our team. OG Anunoby, a combination of him and Mikal Bridges being our 2 better perimeter defenders going up against the Boston Celtics. I'm very happy with that. And OG Anunoby, we just need him to last. We need him to last, especially in the playoffs. And hopefully he's going to be able to do that this year. And man, his defensive prowess is just something that really pops out to me. So hopefully he can keep it up and we'll see what happens, man. But guys, that's it for today's video. No more preseason games now on Tuesday in Boston. That's when it really starts counting. Hopefully we could come away in that game with a W. But until next time, before I wrap up the video, you always know I got to give you that Knicks Digest Dariel outro. Jalen Brunson for all the MVPs. The deuce is loose for co-MVP. Mikal Bridges for Defensive Player of the Year. Taj Gibson, even though you're not a New York Knickerbocker anymore, it's always Taj Gibson for president. And until next time, guys, I'll check you out in the next video. Peace.